Thank you and welcome.
Thank you so much, Hamisi Williams. I know we've been partnering together in many areas, and I want to assure you that the partnership will continue. We still have a lot of work to do, looking at the areas that we are supposed to cover. In fact, I think it is the first time we are now handling issues of nutrition. We keep on talking about food and nutrition. That's an area that we have not really gone too deep because we've been talking about food. What kind of food are we producing? So me and you, we still have a lot of work to do. I also want to thank other development partners who have supported us in this program, and specifically also the CEO of Kndi, whom I met for the first time when we were discussing about this framework that we were launching at Safari Park, and he promised that he's going to invite me. I didn't know where he was, where he's best, but I agreed. So definitely I had the duty to come here. Even if you are hidden wherever you are, I'll definitely have come. And I'm told that also on their way, the CECs from the counties that had been invited because they play a critical role, the government agencies that are here, and the nutrition and dietetics professionals, I'm told there are 6,000 following us in this event specifically. I want to greet you and say thank you for following this. Other regulatory bodies that support the sector, and our training institutions that you have talked about that also do the capacity building and training on this specific area, invited guests, distinguished participants. Allow me to say good afternoon. It is indeed a great pleasure for me to be with you this afternoon, to witness again the relaunch of the national training package on national training package on nutrition, sensitive agriculture and food systems. I was informed that indeed we did the launch at the site event, but this one is specific in the sense that we are now reaching out to the entire technical teams that play a role in this area, and we want to sensitize them on these particular documents that we developed together with our development partners, and now we want to make it for official use, and I think that has been adopted, and I'm very happy. Thank you, team, for working so hard on that area. I just mentioned that I was present at the Safari Park Hotel together with the team from FAO and other development partners when this special side event of the during the fourth National Nutrition Symposium on eradicating malnutrition in all its forms, stepping up the political, the multi-sector and interdisciplinary actions towards nutrition resilience. You can see how we've broadened it. We do not just leave it to the professionals. I think the team worked very hard and realized that we need all the sector. We need everybody to come in this space. Our politicians, for example, the political class, who most of us and most of the masses listen to, we want to bring them also on board to talk about issues of nutrition, so that when they are leading, they know who are these people they are leading. And Miss has just given us the quotations here, and if they are able to live by those quotations, and then they will be leading a healthy nation. So ladies and gentlemen, colleagues, those who have participated in this, I take cognizance of the fact that the malnutrition bears a multi-sectoral approach. If you are to eradicate it, no single professional, for example, that can claim to eradicate malnutrition can say, I'm a nutritionist, but you need everybody. And I'm very happy that my team from the Ministry of Agriculture have decided to take a different approach on this issue. That means, as we engage our production, we need then to be more sensitive about the nutritional value get it right, nutritional value of that product that you're producing. Because if you don't handle it well, for example, then it loses that nutritional value. If you don't manage it well, post-harvest, then again it loses that nutritional value. So it is important that as we engage in production from day one, we need to look at how are then we going to keep this to have the nutritional value that is being produced for. So as mentioned, the agriculture sector and food systems influences people's dietary patterns and have an impact on nutritional outcome. And they are a critical component of the Kenya's budget. So that means, as we're budgeting as well, we must make sure that we look at the nutritional aspect of it in terms of the nutritional security that we've been talking about. So sustainable agriculture and food systems have a key role in improving food security and nutrition while promoting food safety and healthy diets. Somebody said, food is not food when it's not safe. You can produce food, but as long as it's not safe, I don't think it will be food. Nobody will consume that food. So the Kenya government is committed to transforming agri-food systems and is ready to deliver on healthy diets as envisioned in various documents for scaling up nutrition in the agriculture sector and food systems as a sustainable measure for alleviating food and nutrition security. So ladies and gentlemen, as we launch this training package, let us remember the 4.3 million Kenyans who are in need of humanitarian assistance and the 942,000 malnourished children aged between 6 to 59 months. And in addition, the 134,000 pregnant and lactating women who are in need of treatment. Our Constitution enshrines that food and nutrition security is a basic human right and no one should go to bed without food. This calls for commitment to all of us in ensuring that Kenya or Kenyans throughout their life cycle enjoy at all the times safe food in sufficient quantities and quality that satisfies their nutritional needs for optimal health. As you are aware, over the last 4 years, the country has experienced recurrent drought, just like other countries in the Horn of Africa, where millions have faced acute food insecurity and malnutrition. The 2022 drought is a record, as mentioned by my colleague Hamisi, that it was the worst drought in the last 40 years. And as mentioned earlier, these statistics, we indeed lost approximately 2.6 million livestock. And it was one of the seasons where we had the lowest maize productions at 34.4 million bags compared to our annual demand of 52 million bags, both for human consumption and livestock. Now those are the statistics in terms of the losses. If you quantify that, it's so much. For me, the livestock sector, I think it's approximated to be about $1.8 million, which then affects the income of our people, and you know what it does at the end of it. So in order to meet the maize shortage, the country relies on imports by private sector and relief agencies. It is important to note that the country has been unable to meet her nutritional maize requirement due to increasing human population and reducing agricultural land and productivity. Thus, the total imports of maize in the year 2022 increased to 9.9 million bags compared to 4.1 million bags imported in the year 2021. So as we look at these challenges that we are now facing, one, it's obvious and we all know that we are in the era of climate change. And we must discuss issues of climate change and how then do we handle our production systems. We are also in the era of low use of farm inputs due to high costs. We are also in the era of declining soil productivity or soil fertility, which I think we also need to move to that area. How do we address this issue of soil fertility? it's about the nutrients. Human beings require nutrients. Our soil requires the right nutrients to produce the right kind of food that we need. So we need to address this as well. We're also having challenges in the side of pests and diseases that are increasing. We have different pests that are now we are facing. For example, we had the fall armyworm. As we are trying to grapple with the fall armyworm, then we had what's called the African fall armyworm. So you can see that these pests are manifesting themselves in different. Tomorrow, I don't know which I'll call it what, because there'll be another new one that is maybe resistant to the products that we have developed to fight it. We also have challenges in the market side, in the sense that we have the market infrastructure. As we produce, we must ensure that we produce for the market. But the challenges are that do we have enough infrastructure to be able to make our food safe? For example, and if you look at it in terms of logistics, the cold chain facilities in our country is not adequate or sufficient to address that. So we need investment in that area so that we are able to ensure that whatever is produced is utilized well. Now, one of the most difficult things, and we've been saying this in forums, and we have experienced it when you go to the field, is that we have a big challenge. The challenge is we don't have the youth coming to take up that the space of agriculture. Our farmer is an aging farmer in agriculture. The average age of our farmer is about 59. I can see in terms of productivity, what's the productivity of that farmer? He's not able to move to the market to go and sell the produce and come back and continue with their farming activities. So we need to attract the youth into this space so that they are able to support in production. Then another challenge that we are facing, and I hope if the CECs are here, is the challenge of extension services. The counties now are performing their functions, which are devolved functions, specifically in agriculture, and therefore they need to support the farmers by employing extension experts to be able to support the farmers with the new technology, new skills, new innovations in the agriculture sector. So some of these are the challenges that we are facing, and I want to say that as a government, we are undertaking some of the initiatives to address and mitigate issues of food insecurity arising from these challenges that we are facing. And this includes fertilizer subsidy to cushion farmers against high cost of fertilizer. Also, wherever we have shortage of maize in the country, we do grant what's called waiver on importations of food and animal feeds, so that it can subsidize and support the farmers and support the consumers as well in terms of reduction of the cost. We're also ensuring that in the climate change space, we do provide what's called the insurance programs to mitigate against climate change and to ensure that the farmers' investments in terms of agriculture are secure in case of climate change, in case of drought, in case of floods. All this is now being supported by the insurance programs. Further, we are also using what's called the climate smart technologies and innovations. We've embraced the climate smart agriculture to ensure that we do produce during these very difficult times where we have climate change. And we're also collaborating with other sectors, for example, as mentioned, health, social protection, education, and others, and other partners to address the issues of nutrition and make sure that we have what's called multi-sectoral approach. We must produce for a targeted community. If we are to look at this area, what are the challenges? If it's, for example, calling them, if we need an area which requires drought area, for example, ASAL counties, for example, what we need to do in those ASAL counties. We know their livelihood is livestock. So we target more interventions in the livestock sector. If the high rainfall areas, we make sure that we target more interventions related to with the food production, making sure that whenever they are producing food, we secure them. We must tell them, take your insurance cover. And we have also gone even further to support the livestock sector and make sure that we develop a livestock insurance component, something that we were not used to. We used to talk about insurance in case there is a disease that will kill the animal. But you're saying we need now to be more innovative and develop an insurance package or a product that looks at the change in climate. If there is drought, then the pastoralist is paid to purchase animal feed to be able to sustain the animal for a period of time that they're facing the challenge. So I just want to mention, ladies and gentlemen, then the other one, of course, we are promoting youth in agriculture through the Enable Youth program. We are supporting the youth, giving them credit facilities and incubating them so that they are able to invest in agriculture and attract them to go into agriculture. I just mentioned some of the programs then that we as a government are undertaking. Number one is we have what's called the crop and livestock insurance programs. This is being done. We have what's called the National Value Chain Support Program, the Small Scale Irrigation and Value Addition Program. We have the Kenya Cereals Enhancement Program. We have the Kenya Climate Smart Support Program. We have Towards Ending Drought Emergencies Program, the Livestock Commercialization Program, Livestock Value Chain Support Program, the Livestock Insurance, that's a product called De-risking, Inclusion, and Value Enhancement for the pastoral economies. So we have a specific interventions and programs that looks at each of our segments and each of our regions depending on the challenges they are facing. So ladies and gentlemen, finally let me just say that I want to take this opportunity again to thank you, the participants, and also to thank our development partners who have stood by us. And indeed, as per your colleague, you are the part of the United Nations team. And therefore, we being member states, we do feel that FAO, you're playing a critical role in supporting the member states. Dr. Amisi, I want really to thank you, and I want to tell you that don't get tired. The country still needs you. We have to walk this journey together as the development partners. So I think FAO has gone deep into this, and they have told us that, and they have supported us in developing this training manual. And you've just said that it's not going to end here in Kenya. You are now going beyond the borders. And I also want to thank my colleagues, the principal secretaries, who looked at this document and found it fit that it therefore needs accreditation, it needs the endorsement at the high level, at the policy level, which then makes this document to be accepted nationally and also to be adopted globally. So, ladies and gentlemen, and specifically again, Kndi, I know you have taken the time to prepare for this, and actually this is your product. I think it was specifically designed and produced for your use. Because as you develop your career, your curriculum, you need to look at what are we doing in the agriculture sector, for example. So it starts from you, because you've got to address the issue of challenges of nutrition. Then you have to tell them, how and then do you produce? We want you to speak about nutrition and the diet, and just tell them how to produce if you are to have this product. So it has to go beyond your professional calling. You have to step further and say, know how to produce it. So we are looking at you and as an institution that regulates over 10,000 professionals. If all of them join hands, I so believe this message of nutrition will go far in ensuring that our children, our lactating mothers, become safe, because without them again, there will be no nation. There will be no nation. If you lose our children, then we are losing generations. Then we are losing our whole nation. So let's all play our role and ensure that this issue of nutrition is taken seriously. And I'm very happy that you will not just take it as a document. You have really entrenched it and made it part of the continuing professional development, the CPD package. So that if you have not done this, then you miss some points and you will not qualify to be called a professional nutrition and dietitian, which is a good thing for us. That means The regulations then will make sure that everybody comes on board. If you want to call yourself as a professional nutritional and dietitian, therefore you need to have understood this document. So for us as a ministry, we are very proud of you as a new partner that has come to partner with us to provide what's called the last mile connectivity. Because that's what we are missing, the last mile connectivity. And now you have come in to provide that last mile connectivity. So with those few remarks, ladies and gentlemen, thank you and God bless you.